Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're moving on to Module 9. We're starting with 9.1 and it is on exponents. So this page, you're pretty much going to copy exactly how I have it written. Start by going to your table of contents, putting 9.1 exponents. I've totally lost track of what page number is which, so put the next page number on your, as long as it matches your table of contents, that's okay. And then come back and write down this definition. Okay, so the definition that I want you to write down is power. And power is a number that is formed by repeated multiplication of the same factor. So like 6 times 6 times 6, or 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, you're multiplying the same number over and over again. And you can write it two different ways. Well, you write it one way, but there's three different ways to call it, to say it. So if we had a number that looked like that, with this big 6 and a little 2, you would say that's 6 squared. 2's have a unique way of being called. So it's 6 squared, or 6 to the power of 2, which goes with any number. You can use that with any number to the power of whatever number that it is, or 6 raised to the second power, or a lot of people just say 6 to the second power, kind of shorten that up. So for 7 with a little 3, you say that's 7 cubed, and again, cubed is a unique number, or a unique word that we only use when there's a little 3, just like squared is only used when the exponent is 2. Okay, so you can read this 7 cubed, 7 to the power of 3, or 7 raised to the third power. Or like I said, a lot of people shorten that one and just say 7 to the third power. Okay, so each particular part of this number has a name, and you need to know that. So the large number, the 7, is called the base. That's the number that is getting multiplied. Then the small number is the exponent, and that is telling you how many times over and over again you are multiplying the base. Okay, so make sure you have all this written down correctly, and then move on to page 2. Oh, by the way, there will be 6 boxes on your sheet. Okay, for page 2, numbers can be written multiplied by each other. So to shorten things up, that's why we write with exponents. So the number we're multiplying over and over and over again is 3. So that is my base. So I'm going to write a 3. Now, how many times am I multiplying it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is my exponent. Okay, so it's 3 to the 5th power. Okay, now be very careful here, because I do not want you to say, oh, 3 to the 5th power, that's 15. No, it is not 3 times 5. It is 3 multiplied 5 times. So you multiply, actually, I'm going to tell you that in another couple slides. So hold on to that thought. Sorry, I've got a little ahead of myself. So right now, I just want you to know that this is how to write them. So you choose the number that's being multiplied over and over again. That's the base. The little number, the exponent, is how many times it is. So for 4/5, you're going to, the number that is the base is 4/5. However, it's a little different, because if I were to just write 4, what that shows is 4 to the power of 4 divided by 5. That's not what we want. So we have to put a parenthesis around it. So we multiply the whole part of that fraction, 4/5, 4 times. Okay? And then if a number is only written once, the way it's written as a base and exponent is 6 to the power of 1. Okay, next slide. All right, so there's a property of 0 as an exponent, and it says that the value of any number raised to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So 5 to the power of 0 is 1. 75 to the power of 0 is 1. 3/5 to the power of 0 is 1. 5 million to the power of 0 is still 1. Okay? And just go ahead and I want you to know that definition and write down these examples to help you remember. Okay, so now we're finding the power. This is where I got ahead of myself. This is where I was headed. Okay, so we're finding the value of each number. So when it says find the value, it wants you to solve and tell how much it is worth. What is its value? So 10 to the 4th power, that's how you would read it, looks like, sorry it's a little blurry too. Guess I didn't get it in focus. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That's 10 4 times. Okay, and that is equal to, if we multiply those all out, it's equal to 10,000. Now here's a little trick. When you're multiplying by 10, if you multiply 10 to the 4th power, you're going to have a 1 with that many zeros. So you're going to have a 1 with with 4 zeros because it's 10 to the power of 4. Okay, so that's a little shortcut you can remember. All right, now remember this is not, and I want you to write this in your notes, this is not 40. We are not doing 10 times 4, not 40. So make sure you note that. All right, our next one is 0.4 to the power of 3, or you could say 0.4 cubed. All right, so that looks like this. 0.4 times 0.4 times 0.4, and it equals 4 times, well, we could multiply it out over here. I don't want to take the time to do that because you guys know how to multiply. I know you do. So 0.4 times 0.4, find that answer. Then you multiply it times 0.4, and that gives you 0.064. Okay, we have one more. 2/3 squared. So we have 2/3 times 2/3. So 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So 2/3 squared is 4/9. All right, I'd want to do a couple of word problems with you so you can see how it works in a word problem. Okay, our first word problem is Hadley's softball team has a phone tree in case a game is canceled. This is how they used to do it in the old days before email and text and all that, just so you know. The coach calls 3 players. Then each of those players calls 3 players, and so on, until everybody's called. How many players will be notified during the 3rd round of calls? All right, so if the coach is calling 3 players, and then they all call 3 players, and we want to do 3 rounds of that. So we're doing 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 to the 3rd power, we could also say 3 cubed, equals 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27. Remember, this does not equal 9. You're not adding. You're not adding these 3's together. So it's 27 players will be called by the 3rd round. Okay, so our second word problem is the following. Tim is reading a book. On Monday he reads 3 pages. On each day after that he reads 3 times the number of pages that he read on the previous day. How many pages does he read on Thursday? Okay, so yes, we're working with the same base number. We're working with 3. Okay, so we're going to put 3, that's Monday. And now he reads for 3 times that amount on the following days. So 3 times 3 times 3, and we're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, times 3 is Thursday. And that gives us 3 to the 4th power, or 3 to the power of 4. So if we multiply that, we have 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Now you don't have to write this out this way. It's okay. So we have 27 times 3, and that will give you 81. Okay, you don't have to write it out like I just did, but I was just showing you how sometimes I do it. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so he reads 81 pages by Thursday. All right, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.